The Irish in the coffee. Woo.
For fuck's sake.
Hi, everybody. This is Amber Unabridged. I'm Amber, and this is my friend Ian.
Hello.
So, I was on... Ooh. I think that was just the whiskey. I was on Claudia's channel because she had just gotten me a book written by an Irish author. And she was talking about how I like Ireland and I'm really into Ireland and Irish things. And somebody was like, oh, there's an Irish Readathon hosted by Aoife over at Fred Weasley Died Laughing. And I was like, what? There's an Irish Readathon? What? And I was like, well, this is happening. I texted Ian and I was like, hey, Ireland and books.
I was in.
Yeah.
I was in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ian is an enthusiast about Ireland, much like myself.
Thanks to my grandmother, who has brought me up with it since I was born.
It's a good way. I only just got into it like 7 years ago. Ish.
That's sad, Amber.
I know.
Better time to start now.
Oh, I'm making up for it. The Readathon goes from March 1st through the 31st. So it's the entire month of March. And they chose March because of St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, Ireland is awesome. And now we're going to talk about the books that we're going to read because of this readathon that we're participating in because Ireland is awesome. And the coffee seems to be done. The Irish Readathon is hosted by Aoife, I think I'm saying her name right, Aoife, at Fred Weasley Died Laughing. And her co-hosts are Leanne at Leanne Rose and Elaine at Elaine Howlin. They all have announcement videos. I will link all of their channels down below. The hashtag that they are associating with this readathon is hashtag the Irish Readathon. Essentially, if you read anything by an Irish author, you're participating. But as always, we've got some fun challenges that you can choose to participate in and make things a little more fun and diverse. So the first challenge is read a book by an Irish female author. What are you planning to read for that one?
I don't have an Irish female author. I have an Irish female editor.
Hey.
Of old Irish mythology stories, and she put them all together in a nice book. Mm-hmm. So I think that counts still.
You know, I'm going to say it does.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was an Irish female author in one of these stories.
Mm-hmm. And it's Marie Heaney.
Marie Heaney,
and
yes.
She's married to Seamus Heaney.
Mm-hmm. That's good to know. Amber is the one that suggested this for me, so thank you, Amber.
You're welcome. It's a great book.
What about you? What is your choice?
So, we're filming this on March 3rd. I have already read a book that counts for 2 of the challenges, and one of them is that it's by an Irish female author, and it was Asking for It by Louise O'Neill. I kind of hated it, but we won't go into that right now. But that was a female author that is Irish, and so I read it. However, I'm also participating in the Hamilton this month.
Explain.
There's a readathon hosted by Louise at Fox's Fairy Tale, I think is her Twitter name. I can link that down below if you're interested in checking it out. Hashtag Hamilton. And it is a readathon based on the Hamilton musical. So if you're a fan of musicals or of history, then A, listen to the musical, B, check out the readathon. But I'm participating in that, and I have a number of books that I'm reading for that as well. So I'm trying not to be too ambitious because I don't want to stress myself out.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of reading.
So I already fulfilled this challenge, but if I feel ambitious, I'm going to read Ireland's Pirate Queen, The True Story of Grace O'Malley by Anne Chambers. And I'm holding this super awkwardly because I've got the mug with the Irish coffee in my other hand. Okay, so the second challenge is to read a book by one of the host's favorite authors. The authors are Sarah Rees Brennan, Louise O'Neill, and Marion Keyes. As I said, I already fulfilled that challenge.
I have not picked a book yet for that, so that might have to... March 31st, maybe.
As it says in the original announcement videos, if you don't do all of the challenges, it's not like you didn't do the readathon.
I have all the others. All right, number 3 is read an Irish book that is not a novel.
I love this prompt.
Gives you so many options.
Actually, technically, all of the ones I have right here count. But what I would like to read this month, that I was going to try to read last month, but then put off for this month when I found out there was going to be an Irish Readathon, is A Pocket History of Ireland by Brendan O'Hear. I love Ireland. I can't read Irish names very well. I only have a rudimentary understanding of Irish history, and I feel that it is a culture that bases so much of its stories and fiction on its history, and so I want to understand better so that I can have a frame of reference for everything that I read. What are you going with?
This is a collection of Irish horror stories, so I'm sure there will be some banshees, and I'm sure there will be some ghosts. I love horror, and I love horror stories, so this is a great option for that. So I have a lot of collections so far. Collection of mythology, collection of horror stories.
Both things you love.
Both things I love. So that'll be my not a novel book by Peter Haney. Edited by. A lot of editors, no authors.
The next prompt is to read an Irish book that's older than you are. What are you choosing for that one?
They are before I was born, 1991. So...
Oh!
Never mind.
Well, you're going to read Bram Stoker, right?
Yes, that counts. Dracula. He is a Irish author. So, this totally counts.
Mm-hmm. That's super old.
And this is before my time. So...
Just barely.
So, yes, I've read this before. I will read it again because it was great. And it'll fit in well with the Irish horror and mythology stories.
I checked the publication. It was published in 1989. I was born in 90, so this is older than me. And then the final prompt is to read a book with green on the cover. I'm kind of leaning towards this Irish fairy and folk tales. I love folk and fairy tales. A friend of mine bought this for me when we were at Barnes & Noble. I've been eyeing it up for years, and now I have it. Even though I have, like, 3 other folk and fairy tales from Ireland collections. But...
with green on the cover like this, though?
Not like this, but... They probably have green on the cover. So I've got this one. Also, the Grace O'Malley one has green on the cover. So I've got options.
This I'm actually reading for my capstone anthropology class in school. And it has green on the cover with a little Celtic knot. He is a German author. It's about his view, how capitalism started. He thinks it's from when the Catholics switched to Protestants due to their practices and strictness. And Protestants and Catholic do have a strong history in Ireland. So it fits in very well.
So those are our books that we're planning to read. If you have ever been to Ireland, tell me what your favorite thing was that you did while you were there.
What books they suggest, obviously. How their experience is going through this process. And what they like and disliked about the whole experience.
Thanks for checking in with us. And thank you for doing this with me.
Of course.
That'll be fun. I hope that you all have a happy time reading. Have a good one. Bye.